Tenma is a young orphan teenager who was raised in an orphanage in a small village. Despite being only 15 years old, Tenma isn't aware that his soul reincarnates every 200 years to battle against the gods. His soul always promised to be beside the goddess Athena and protect her from the evil god Hades, who aims to destroy the world. Therefore, Athena recognized him as the Pegasus Bronze Saint, the only saint with enough strength to defeat and extinguish any god in the universe. Tenma is a teenage boy who grew up in a happy orphanage in a small town with his best friend Alone. But one day, Tenma suddenly feels that his best friend is in danger and decides to look for him. He finally finds Alone collapsed in the mountain path and takes him back to the orphanage, where he treats his wounds. In the same night, a heavy storm breaks out, resulting in some boulders blocking the river's path, making it overflow into the town. Both of the friends face a critical moment where they both want to save the orphanage from being flooded. But at the same time, Alone thinks they cannot deal with this task. But Tenma doesn't give up and rushes to destroy the huge rocks blocking the river passage. He tries his best to destroy it with his punches but only makes small cracks. In his final try, Tenma concentrates the power of Cosmos in his fist while hearing the prayers of everyone at the orphanage, and hits the rocks with a massive punch, destroying it. A golden saint who sensed his Cosmos power witnesses everything and picks Tenma up before he collapses. In the following day, the golden saint named Doko explains that he saw how Tenma saved the town, and recommends him to join the sanctuary and become a saint. Tenma has always been dreaming about this moment, the moment where he could become a saint and protect everyone, and so decides to accept the offer and says his farewell to Alone, while promising they will always be best friends. Upon reaching the Greek sanctuary, Tenma gets an explanation that every 200 years there's a holy war between Hades, the god of the underworld, and the goddess Athena. In order to protect peace in the world, Athena created 88 saints, each of them protected by one of the respective 88 constellations. This sanctuary is also the place where people train to become saints, but only a few of them have the power and heart to be chosen. Tenma gets quickly challenged by another trainee after hearing that he will become the next saint. He accepts the challenge, but quickly regrets it after getting beaten. He meets the golden saint Doko, who quickly explains to him how to use his Cosmos powers to get stronger. After Doko's departure, Tenma notices someone passing by and mistakes that person for Alone. He quickly reaches out and grabs her arm, finding out that person is Sasha, one of his childhood friends. He tries to remind her about how she was his and Alone's best friend, but they get attacked by an assassin hiding underground. Tenma tries to defend her, but he's no match for the assassin, who quickly pins him to the ground and starts beating him. The assassin quickly turns his attention to Sasha, who uses her Cosmo power and reveals to be the goddess Athena. The assassin tries to attack her, but he's quickly defeated by the Ares saint, who arrives in time to save and escort her home. Tenma trains for the next 2 years and gets his final test to become a saint. He faces a guy twice his size, but doesn't back down. He quickly punches the guy against a pillar and then shows mercy by destroying a boulder that was falling on top of his opponent. The Pope witnesses his strength and kindness and decides to grant him the status and armor of the Pegasus Saint. Later that night, Tenma sneaks up into Athena's balcony, and they talk about their childhood memories. But Athena suddenly looks up to the sky and says that Hades has awakened, marking the beginning of the Holy War. Tenma is then sent on a mission to investigate Hades' location along with some other saints. But along the path, he quickly realizes they were sent to his hometown. Tenma starts to rush back into his hometown but only sees fire and destruction among the town. He starts to worry about Alone's safety and quickly rushes back to the orphanage. He enters Alone's room but only sees everything covered in blood. He goes outside and starts looking for Hades, while promising his comrades that he will defeat the evil god. He notices his comrade's screams while getting hit by lightning and sees Hades floating in the sky. Hades starts to approach him and welcomes him back home. Tenma is shocked. He cannot believe that Alone is the real Hades. Alone was always a kind person, but Pandora approached him on the same day that Tenma found him unconscious on the mountain path, turning a pure, kind, and docile kid into the evil god of the underworld. Hades then shows Tenma's painting that Alone couldn't finish before Tenma left the town to become a saint. He quickly uses blood to draw an X on the painting and its powers kill Tenma on spot. Hades' first job is finally done. He destroyed his hometown and killed Tenma, taking Alone's human nature away. With this one move, he no longer has anything tying him to his humanity, and his blonde hair turns into a dark, evil color, making all of his specters kneel in front of him before they leave. Yato is the only saint who manages to stay alive, and decides to take Tenma's corpse to Athena. Suddenly, a girl named Euceria appears, telling that she was ordered by her master to take Tenma away and revive him. She quickly teleports everyone to her master's location and he checks Tenma's body condition. Athena's flower bracelet is the only thing keeping him alive, but he will soon die if the flowers dry up. Tenma awakens in the underworld and notices that he is chained inside a jail. A specter suddenly appears and starts mocking him while telling that one of the underworld's leaders is marching against the sanctuary to kill Athena. Suddenly, Yato and Euceria, who teleported to the underworld, appear, but tries to stop them from saving Tenma. The specter uses his shockwave attacks to defeat them and prepares to use his finishing move. Tenma suddenly unleashes his full power and manages to destroy the chains binding him. He quickly attacks and uses his Pegasus Saint skill to defeat the specter with only one punch. Yato quickly explains how Tenma can be revived, and Tenma wishes to rush back to protect Athena. But Euceria explains they must find something first, before heading back to the real world. She further explains they need to get the fruits from the legendary Sapodus tree that grows in the underworld. They start moving to the tree's location, but soon get stopped by Cerberus, the Hell's watchdog. Yato and Euceria try to face the gatekeeper, but they cannot match against the mythic beast. The group decides to distract and then lead the Cerberus against Tenma, who is charging up his cosmos power to use his saint skill, Pegasus Meteor Fist, finishing the mythic beast with one punch. They start moving again and meet Hades along the way. Euceria tries to attack but is blown away with a flicker of his hand. Hades then congratulates Tenma for surviving his previous